It's time. Look who's here. Edgar. Eddie G. The G stands for Gur. Alright, you read the title. You know what we're about to do. Dungeon Crawler Carl 2, baby. And I'm starting to figure out how to say that without stuttering. Book Yaps with Ash. Alright, boom. I've started this morning. I'm very excited to get into this book. I've had it for a week or two now, but I've been reading We Love You, Bunny, and just looking at this one and being like, I'm getting to you. I can't wait. So I'm pretty excited to get into this. I'm excited to maybe get some answers. For example, will Donut change her race? Probably not. I've seen her as a cat on every cover of the books in the series. What will Carl choose? I feel like he stays kind of human, but like, what will he choose? How will all that come into play? Will they interact with Frank and Maggie again? Will that come of anything? Will we start to feel empathy for Frank and Maggie? Is this dino baby of theirs going to become a problem? I feel like those are the main things I'm like really looking forward to finding out, because the last book ended on quite the cliffhanger and I'd like to know stuff. So aside from that, I'm just excited to have a fun time. I'm going into this with minimal critical thinking skills, which I went into the last one with, but it turns out it was deeper than I thought. Like, I thought it was going to be fun, but then, like I was saying, it was becoming very rebellious. So I liked that, and I hope that continues. I imagine it will. This one's also highly rated, and so yeah, I'll be honest, a couple of those questions have already been answered for me. I know that Donut stays a cat, and Carl chooses to be a primal, which is like human, but also kind of like caveman. And they've kind of tricked Mordecai into becoming their manager. Not really tricked, but they knew that he'd be mad if Donut chose that class that allowed him to be their manager, because it kind of ruins his life. But Odette from that one show told them it would be really helpful because he knows a lot of stuff. He doesn't have access to the like internet or whatever information library once he becomes a manager, but he's been in there for so long that he knows so much that he will become useful. So we know that's happening, and I think there's gonna be like side quests happening. Yeah, I don't know. I read the first 30 pages this morning, really ate them up. Just excited to be back in this world. Feel like I never left it, and excited to share it with all of you guys. So stay tuned while I read this beautiful pink book about death games. Someone just said, "You're in the dark." I'll tell you what, Sherlock Holmes. You are unbelievable. Okay. What? Okay, what just happened? Lots of stuff. First of all, they came into contact with a quest, and then there was this like tall woman who had the power to like charm Carl. He got a boner. Ew. And then but then he broke his pinky, so then the boner stopped. Thanks, Mordecai. Oh yeah, before that, Mordecai got super drunk and wasn't being very helpful. Lame. He also threw up and then like passed out in it. Also lame. That's gross. Anyways, they came in contact with this quest, and then this woman tried to like charm them. Turns out that she was going to sacrifice Carl to release her like warriors or something like that, but she couldn't because Carl didn't die like she had hoped. She had summoned these lions and bet on them killing Carl, but Carl like punched them and also grabbed one of their hearts right out of them. Killed it by grabbing his heart out of him because he's strong now. And yeah, they beat them all because they're good fighters. And then Mordecai got mad. He was like, "You shouldn't have done that quest. You're not powerful enough. It's gonna be bad, blah blah blah." And it turns out there's whole other storylines related to the quests, and they shouldn't do the quests yet because they could get killed because they're not important to the quest. The quest storylines are important. You following? So that's where I'm at. Mordecai is mad at them. I feel like he's always gonna be mad, but he'll get over it. And I'm in the dark. Boom. What's up? Happy whatever time it is and day it is that you're watching this. I am going through this book faster than I can make update videos. I'm over halfway done. Look at this. I'm just breezing through this shit. Now that we know all the stuff, it's just like fun is happening. Well, fun and like intense stuff. Like what's happened? One is that Princess Donut kind of almost died. Like I didn't think she was gonna die because she's on like every other book cover. But if you didn't know that, like you might think she was gonna die in one of the quests that they were gonna avoid with that lady. But then she like took him and she forced Carl to fight for her. But then Carl outsmarted her. Bam! And then, so they beat that quest. And then, I can't remember if they got a fan box from that quest or something else. But they got fan boxes that people got to vote on what they got. And Donut got a picture of Bee with that guy that she cheated on Carl with. So he wasn't too happy about that. But Donut was, because she likes Bee. And then Carl got, what did he get? Oh, he got like a thingy. He got like a thingy that's like a scoop attached to his hand where you can just like, whip shit. So that's cool. And then something else happened where he's really protected, but only if he stays in his underwear. So now he'll never have pants. We knew he was never going to get pants. That's not happening. So now what's going on? They're on another quest. Because an orc named, why do I want to say Dum Dum? It's not that. Gum Gum? Oh, it is Gum Gum. Died. She asked for help, but then she died, and a bunch of prostitutes have died. So now they're going to look into that because Carl just needs to help people. He just has this urge to help people, and he can't say no to the quests, even though Mordecai says, don't do that. And now we're starting to find out stuff about Mordecai, or we're wanting to find out stuff about why he's upset that he's a manager, because it seems like the benefits are good. He'll get lots of cash, some other stuff. But there's a reason he's upset about it, and it has to do with Odette, and we don't know, but we're gonna find out. That's my update on what's going on. Boom, baby. I'm having fun. This book series is good if you have mental illness or bad things happening in your life. Because it's so distracting. I finished this like 4 days ago. No, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like 3 days ago. It was Friday night. I read like a lot of it on Friday. Storm and I went out for dinner, and then we went to Indigo to the Dark Horse coffee shop that's in there, and then just like read our book. And that was really lovely, and then I finished it in bed at like midnight or something. And also, in between that and filming this, I read another whole book. So I don't actually remember what happened aside from a few big things. There was like a quest that set off another quest, and then a bunch of crawlers were basically going to die. They were going to be exploded. But then Carl did something to stop it, I think. And at one point, I'm trying to remember the order in which shit happened. Don't take my word for this. If you're watching this, you've probably read the book and you know if I'm like straight up lying. And I want you to know if I'm lying, it's not on purpose. Anyways. Okay, yeah. They were doing these quests, right? They kept getting into these quests. This is a quest book. Side quest central here. And yeah, so they set off that one quest. Everyone's gonna die. But then Carl like put this explosive like in his inventory, I think, and that stopped it. So that's cool. And then I think the way that they escaped a second potential blast was just going down the stairwell to the 4th floor. And then when they did that, they got sent to Odette, I think. They got sent to an interview with a bunch of other people. And oh my god. Okay. Before that, they thought they were going to die, right? And they're like hugging, okay? And Princess Donut goes, I'm not as dumb as I pretend to be. I know she's probably dead about Bee. So that hurt. And I've heard there's going to be more hurt about that. Because I don't think she's alive. Like, Carl said if she was alive, they would have, like, brought them together at one point for the drama. So she's not alive. Okay, that hurt me. So, and that's actually, like, the thing I think about the most. But anyways, they went to this interview, and the way that works is, like, they're all in their own separate kind of, like, trailers or whatever, and they get, like, hologrammed in or some shit. And one of the people they were interviewing with died because her trailer got blown up. But it turns out that she switched trailers with Carl and Donut last minute because they needed the shower in her trailer or whatever. So she died. She got bombed by the, like, what are they called? That one kingdom or whatever from the first book with that douche guy. You know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about. So she got blown up, but it was actually supposed to be Carl and Donut, and they think they killed Carl and Donut, but they didn't. And then they're about to go, like, end the interview. So they're about to end, they're ending the interview, and then they show the leaderboard of all the crawlers. Carl and Donut are 6th and 7th, which is kind of cool. And then it has a big number beside them. And the last part of the damn book is Carl being like, hey, what do those numbers mean beside my name to Odette? And she goes, that's just the bounty. It's how much other crawlers get if they kill you. Now I must leave. Be careful out there. And then Carl goes, fuck. And the book ends, which is kind of funny. So that's rough. I feel like the cliffhanger in this book was not as intense as the first one. I do want to continue reading, but I have other obligations. But I think I'll be getting to it soon. Review time. Okay, I love this book. My mental health, bad. Like this right now. Really terrible. And this book is really good for that because it's distracting. There's so much going on at once, and it's fun, so you don't feel as sad when you're reading it. And I think that that's great. So that's my review. 5 stars for fun, and we're going to keep going. Thanks for watching this. I feel like this was bad. Hopefully this was entertaining. If this was like a book report in school, I probably would have failed. But this is my own YouTube channel, so I can do whatever I want and say whatever I want. It doesn't matter. If you got to the end of this video, congrats. If you want me to do the third one, let me know. I'm on the fence if I'm going to do it or not. Might just text Beth my updates as I read it. So, we'll see. Thanks for watching this. I have to go join a meeting in 4 minutes. This has been Book Yaps with Ash, Reading Vlog Edition. See you later.